What's going on, guys? Michael here at 3D Print Everything, and I got some interesting results to share with you about TPU filament and drying filament potentially. So, previously I printed these little these little white trucks, and I got lots of strings right out of the box. Printed them, had stringing like this, and as many of you suggested, like, hey, dry them out. Do that, see what's going on. So this is all anecdotal, none of this is of the scientific nth degree of research, but just my anecdotal research. I ran this filament through the AMS2 Pro and got it from a 50% average humidity down to 27 in 18 hours. That was the cycle it had. Set it on TPU, and this is the result. So this is after drying. Now, looking at it, if there was any less stringing from the before to now, it's not really noticeable. Like maybe I had a 10% reduction in stringing. So, give me your opinions on if I needed to dry it more and further or not. But it didn't seem to make a massive difference. And on top of that, if you are following the channel and you saw one of my recent videos where I was like, hey, is this the right way to use the K2 Plus? Joke's on me, it's not. But did it work? I don't know. And what I'm talking about here is this is a different orientation than what I had it set up. I took my collection of my box of silicone desiccants that I've been saving. That's a full box, and I shoved it in here. Before, I just had a handful placed around, maybe 50 of them or so, quite a few, and I tossed them in here. Now this green was giving me stringing issues and jamming, so I tossed the green in here. But yesterday, or all day, so more than a 24-hour time period, I dried this gray. So this gray sat in here at 70°C with a lot of those desiccants everywhere, and it came out like this. This is damn near unacceptable. Maybe I could pass this off, but let's be real. Would you want one of these? The wheel looking like crap. All this, there ain't no side mirror on this one. This gray TPU, or would you like this silver? This silver TPU. My goodness. This is still TPU. Ah, son of a... son of a... Okay, so much for this being TPU. This... Man, I can't believe that just happened. I was so excited, and these looked so good, and I just broke it. And damn it, that is not... I just got off the phone with the client on this too, and was super happy with the results, and super happy that the supports just break off like this. They practically break like it's PLA. And there I go being like, yeah, let's show that it's TPU by squeezing it and just break one. So it is TPU. It is a little squishy, but clearly it's not as strong as I was expecting as far as TPU goes. So I guess the interesting results are this shiny TPU is 98A. This feels like 110A. I don't think the scale actually goes that high, but as a finished product without stringing, this looks fantastic. This stuff was also dried in there. Maybe I over dried it, I don't know. Again, this is just kind of me anecdotally talking about interesting results. But the damn. I can't tell you how unexpected that was for me to have broken that and then be talking about this in the middle of a video, but I'm going to keep it in. Look at how easy this is. For TPU cleanup, to be able to do this one-handed. There it is. Yeah, yay. So this came out great. Aside from the broken front end. Look at that. Aces and eights. That's the name of this truck. Got the spade in the back. It looks awesome. The wheels came out great. I mean, this just printed great. And you know, the use of this, like how this is being used, is the client is throwing these at people from the back of her truck. So she's going to sit up in the back of one of these, and she's going to chunk them at people. You know, the intention is not to hurt them, but, you know, if you accidentally do a bad throw and peg someone in the head, a lot better to peg them with a TPU than it is to peg them with a PLA. And, you know, my thoughts were, too, is, hey, most people are going to want to give this to their kid. And, you know, if you're going to give your kid a toy, especially a child, you'd probably rather give them, you know, one that you can just chunk on the floor. And, damn, broke another one. Well, it's good information to know, but what do I do about this? Yeah, I mean, like, these two I can glue back together, but, like, let's be real, that's not what I'm trying to deliver to my customers. So, the point being that, you know, it's easier to give a child a squishy toy that they can squish, and it won't break. And this is what regular TPU should be like. So, you know, we can see that I can twist this thing all the way, and it's just fine. So maybe the point of this video is silky TPU is definitely not as flexible as regular TPU, because I cannot do that to those. And these guys, they're definitely way more flexible and TPU-like. Yeah, let's scratch my thing there. I don't know if I'm going to be able to pull one of these off. Oh, there we go. You know, this stuff feels very flexible. Yeah, this stuff is even more flexible than that white there. So, you know, I wasn't thinking I was going to deliver these, but now, after doing that, I just might. It just looks like dog. Like dog doo-doo. Man. Rabble. Like, I don't know if this just needed to run on a much lower temp or slower. Obviously there's something I can do to make this better, but this is just, like, this feels like 80A or 75A. Maybe not quite 75, but it's definitely not 95. This stuff is super, super squishy. That's super unfortunate. So, because I literally was like, oh, I'm about to go home. The client's happy. She's going to love these silvers. So let's start 1, 2, 3 more, 50 more of these freaking silvers. All to figure out that they're way more brittle, you know, in the grand scheme of, like, you're throwing these away at people and they're going to hit dirt. They're not, like, I literally threw that with some good strength up against the floor. I don't imagine we'll have complaints or issues with these silky silver ones. They do look fantastic, but, yeah, that's not ideal. The whites, they clean up pretty well, and I still have to do a set in green, but thank goodness I have a lot longer to get the green ones done. And then I also did, you know, if you're curious, so the green ones kind of look like this. They're of the much softer green, so this doesn't feel as bad as the grays, but I ran 10 printers in this green and it jammed every one of my machines, and that totally stunk. But, like, look at this. Look, so this is PLA. Look, I can't squeeze it. I'm trying to squeeze it. It doesn't squeeze. This is PLA right there. This is silky TPU. Like, they look nearly identical. So it's like the same silky additive. It's just that silkiness. Even in PLA, silk tends to make a much more brittle product, and it is at the layer height, or the layers. The layer adhesion is where I noticed the issues with silky PLA. So, man, that was just totally unexpected. It took a lot of the gusto out of my video there. But yeah, I guess I'm gonna go ahead and clean up as many of those as I can that look good. And do that. But yeah, the point of the video is I don't know how much drying this TPU actually needs. Does it need 2 days? You know, I'm going to end up giving this 2 freaking days worth of drying. That's probably over drying it. We'll see. You know, hell with it. I'm just gonna find out and hope for the best. It looks like those 2 just finished, so I'm gonna take those off, throw them in this box, and go home now. But yeah, that was totally unexpected. So unexpected results, something to talk about. Yeah, you know, I've really appreciated the comments that y'all are giving me. I'm learning a lot. Hopefully some of you are learning. So every bit that you can feed into me is knowledge I'm going to feed back into you and the community. So even if you aren't personally learning too much, I know if I'm learning as someone who's been doing this for 10 years and printing, you know, completely random different things off of a bunch of different machines and a bunch of different filaments, that other people will hopefully learn from the videos I'm making of the interesting stuff we got going on. So I appreciate it. One of you did reach out to me in email and is willing to print some of these wavy pieces. So we're gonna see if your K2 Plus gives these bands, and we'll see how many pieces you want to do. But hopefully, you know, I don't need them. Just to make it clear, if you watch this video, I don't need these, you know, because I already printed them on the H2S. This is for knowledge and science. So I appreciate your use of your machine and filament, and hopefully you can do something cool with these. You know, I think they'll make a pretty cool wall piece. They might make some cool shoots. I don't know. Hopefully you can do something cool with them. But, oh yeah, and as far as the filament goes, I don't think I listed that in the email. It's Elogo Rapid PETG. So I buy it in the quad pack for like $47. They go on sale down to $40, which is fantastic. $10 a roll from Amazon is great. But yeah. What do you think of my interesting results? We're gonna test out this green as soon as I can. What I'll probably do, since I have a lot more time with the green, is I'm actually gonna print 1 truck at a time, maybe 2 trucks at a time, and I'll tune the settings to make them print ideally, rather than having to rush things and just print 10 at a time on the base settings. So we're gonna see if we can get those to look clean, and avoid you know, some really trashy settings like this, because this is hardly acceptable. But I think once cleaned, if I avoid the ones with busted wheels, you know, which looks like it might even be half, you know, we'll see if those are acceptable and I want to deliver any or not. But yeah, like, share, subscribe, guys. I appreciate your content and comments. They help me, they help others, and hopefully we can learn and experience together. And if you got this far in the video, do a car emoji, since we're talking about little trucks and cars. If there's a truck emoji, do a truck. But yeah, post some car emojis at the end of this for getting this far in the video. I super appreciate the activity there that you put on there. And yeah, what do you think of these? You know, let me know what you think of these guys, because I'm actually very proud of these. We custom made these, had to make the model, everything, do the customization to them to make them you know, like what the customer wanted. And I think they came out really good, aside from maybe some questionable filament choice there. You know, like that's the amount of give this TPU gives. So it's TPU, but it's like the additive is very much not super flexible. So very, very tough. A silky TPU seems to be very tough. At least that one is. But yeah, let me know your thoughts if you've ever printed with the silky TPU or other TPUs, if you've run into these issues on the Bambu before. I generally only print a black TPU, and that stuff is not stringy at all. It comes out perfect and great every time. The supports are super easy to remove. So this is some of the first times I'm printing a TPU that really stinks and is super stringy. I take that back. I printed a handful of this Spider Flex, which is yeah, this stuff. Good luck getting it. But yeah, this TPE stuff is like 75A. Very, very flexible stuff. Very tricky. I have to turn the speed down half compared to what it normally prints on the Bambus, and I get I get really good results. I get a result like this sorry, I can figure out how to end a video and then start a whole nother one in the same video. So this is with ironing on the very top layer, and look at that. That is spider flex, and it's just super malleable stuff. Works great for this particular client. They use these as buttons, and you can push the button, and that top layer ironing is perfect. And what gets that ironing is an increased ironing flow to like 22% from like, I think the stock is 10. So it comes out really nice, and you can really tell that that's beautiful. I've actually had my client just be like, man, you really nailed it on that, and was super appreciative of it. So anyways, yeah, what do you think of everything I just shared? Oh yeah, look at what this printer did. I tried printing some flexible stuff on the K3 Max, and it just spat it all out the side. Awesome. Like, at least I can re-spool it, I think. I don't know. I'm probably just going to throw all that away. But, yeah, what a waste on that one. So, K3 Max, do not recommend for TPU. But everything else either came out like that, or came out like that. What am I doing wrong? What can I do better? What do you recommend? Let's talk about it, and I'll do another video on it. Thanks, guys. Later.